everyone, welcome back to the channel. Charlie Bravo here, and yes, I am dressed very differently than I normally am. Working in the yard today, and apparently I wanted to blend in, so I definitely did that. Now, I want to talk to you guys, give you a status update of the holster that I'm making for the giveaway. Okay, the giveaway already taken place, already ended. Tom Olafson was the winner. He wants a holster for a Glock 19. What I have here is a Glock 17. Thankfully, all the dimensions are identical, except it's a ½ inch shorter on the grip, a ½ inch shorter on the barrel and slide. Other than that, they're identical. But I want to tell you guys and keep you updated and show you everything that I'm doing in the whole process here. So what I have is I have blue painter's tape on here, and really what we're doing there, protecting the handgun, okay? And it's also giving us just a little bit of breathing room. When you reholster your handgun, there's going to be dust and stuff like that inside the holster. And, you know, repeated holster, reholster, things like that, and you're going to start grinding away some of the finish. You just need a little breathing room. Blue painter's tape is giving you just that little breathing room that you need, so you don't have too much problem with that. There's not a dust problem, and it also, you can make a holster too tight, so we definitely want to have a little breathing room. Other than that, what we have a sight channel built on top here, and this is just a wooden dowel. It's about a 1/4 inch wooden dowel, and that's just going to give us a little channel in the Kydex, in the holster, for your front sight post to travel through. Because if you didn't have this on here, you're going to actually have too much retention at that front sight post, and you could, when you insert your handgun, you could damage that front sight post. It could move somehow. I mean, especially repeated holster and reholster and taking it out and in and all that kind of stuff. You could have it shift a little bit, so your point of aim, point of impact could throw off. And as well, it could bind up in there, okay? You could actually have too much retention. You could actually get your handgun stuck inside the holster. Don't want that at all. We want that front sight post free and clear, and this is going to do that. So definitely a good sight channel is important. Other than that, what we have some other blocking material. On this side, it's underneath the blue painter's tape. You can't see it, but you might be able to see the outline of it. It's about 1/16 inch aluminum. It's just a little plate. It's cut out kind of decorative so that it looks good in there, not just a square. And this is blocking our ejection port. The first holster that I made, I actually wanted retention at that ejection port. I thought that's where it needed to grab a hold of the handgun. That was a big mistake on my part. That ejection port started just shaving little pieces of Kydex off. You know, not the best spot. I was able to fix it. I think I still have that holster kicking around here somewhere. It's not something I use because it was really a test piece. But that was a big lesson learned, was no retention at the ejection port. I know people who make holsters all the time, they're like, of course, you don't want that. That's dumb. But you know what? I didn't know. So hopefully you guys can learn from me. If you guys are into making holsters, or if you want to get into it, you don't want any retention there. You want to completely block that off. And that's why, because you're going to start getting those little bit of shavings of Kydex, and you don't want wear on the Kydex like that. Now, the other spot where we could have a problem is back here at at our slide lock. It's not going to be a problem with this one, because this one's going to have this little block. I'm going to tape this into place. This is for the belt loop to attach to. It's going to cover right over that slide lock, so it's not going to be an issue at all. Now, inside the trigger guard, what we have is there's a 1/4 inch thick aluminum, and it's just cut out to fit in that spot. My trigger needs to be in the forward position, and the reason for that, if it's in the back position and I mold it for that, then if somebody wants to have it locked and loaded and that trigger's in the forward position, it could cause problems. It's not going to pull the trigger, but it's going to try to pull that trigger, okay? And it's not going to lock into place correctly. So we want it in the forward position, and then we're also going to block off that center section so it's not grabbing. We don't want the Kydex touching each other on either side of that. So we've got a 1/4 inch gap. So, but this is where we want all of our retention, is to be in that front piece right there, okay? Right at the front of the handguard, that's where we want it to actually, the holster, to grab a hold of our handgun. That's where all the retention needs to come from. Now, I have these two pieces here. I did talk about this. This is going to be for the belt loop, and it's about 1/8 inch thick aluminum again, and that's going to allow me to put screws in there, okay? So the screw heads are going to sit below that, so that it won't actually affect and won't hit the handgun. That's just a small plate, and that's where they're going to mount to. I also have this. This is 1/4 inch aluminum again. This fits right in here. This holster is going to be a wraparound, okay, or a taco style. It wraps around, and where it's going to actually connect and hold it together is with these holes here. Now this is going to be for a Glock 19, so this bottom hole is pretty much out. It's not even going to be used. But these two are going to be. Now I have some rubber washers, 1/4-inch rubber washers, and those are going to fit in there, and that's going to allow you to tighten them up and adjust that tension. So you can squeeze it tighter and make it more retention, or you can loosen them up and make it a little bit looser. So you can adjust it a little bit that way. And I like that. And that's one of the things that I really like about the taco style of holster is that you can add that. You can add it to other styles as well, but it's a little bit more difficult. And it's not as straightforward to make that adjustment, that adjustable tension. Definitely can be done, but it's just a little bit easier. I actually, at first I didn't like the taco style holsters, but the more I've been doing them, the more I like them. I really do. It's a very economical size-wise, okay? So you're not using a lot of material. It's very economical size-wise on your belt, okay? It doesn't take up a lot of real estate. And it's very handy. Actually, I really like them a lot. Again, this is going to have a belt loop on the back, and what Tom wants, Tom Olofsson, who won this, what he wants is just a solid loop. Okay, so it's going to be, the belt has to feed through that loop. I also make ones that slip over the belt, so you don't have to take your belt off. In theory, if you have too much tension or retention on that holster, if you pull up on that, it could actually just pull that off of your belt. In theory, I haven't had that problem yet, but it could happen. Now, with what Tom wants, it's not going to ever be an issue at all, because you're going to have to disconnect that belt, take that belt part way off in order to even get the holster on there. So not going to be an issue at all. I'm pretty excited about this build, so stick around. Next week we're going to have another video, the update. Next week we're going to cut out the Kydex to the right sizes. Before we heat it up, we're going to heat it up and do the bending process. Okay, so the initial getting everything molded to it, that's what we're going to do next week. So be sure to come back then. I'm sure there's going to be some problems. I've never tried it with these holes in here already. In theory, these are going to be my drill guide. The Kydex is going to press into these slightly, and then I'll have little dents where I'll know where to drill. This is going to be 2 layers of Kydex, so I'm not so sure that these are going to show up. I'm pretty sure with 1 this wouldn't be an issue, but with 2, not sure how it's going to turn out. Fingers crossed, hopefully it works out, but if not, you guys are going to see something entertaining, because I'm going to get very frustrated, I'm sure. But anyway, be sure to come back next time for the next update on where this holster is getting to. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, it is always appreciated when you like and share. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to see how this thing comes along, be sure to find that subscribe button. It's right down below. Put your crosshairs on it, pull the trigger on your mouse, and then come back next time for another update video, or for the Gear Freak, it's every Thursday, as well as the Saturday sit rep obviously it's on Saturdays. And remember, your mind, that is your most important weapon, and it's vital to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo out.